Aegis, Advanced Ground Information Systems, makers of LifeRing software. LifeRing puts a command operations center in the palm of your hand.
In this video, I'm going to walk you through all of the basic operations of the LifeRing system. Let's first take a look at the interface. It's based around a map. This is your main menu, and each of these tabs has a subset of menu items grouped by various functions, and we'll go through each of these one by one later in the video. Over here is your server status. Green means connected to the server, yellow means server found and attempting to connect, black or gray means you cannot reach the server, and red means a license failure or the server is down. Over here we have a plus and minus map zoom. If you pan off your location, this target button will recenter the map on your location. Down here on the right we have a zoom slider. You can use your mouse controls to zoom in and out, or you can use the plus and minus buttons. At the bottom here shows you your map scale. Now let's look at some of the symbols you might be seeing. Your user symbol is always represented by a green delta. If you hook your own user symbol, you'll see your latitude and longitude, your GPS status, network connection type, your device's battery status, and your heading, speed, and altitude. There's also the profile data you entered at registration. You can share your location with other users by clicking these buttons, which will send your coordinates via a command, chat, or message. Other users will show up as blue rectangles. Again, you can hook them and see their username, latitude and longitude, and an accuracy value as to their exact position, their GPS status, network connection type, battery status, heading, speed, and altitude, and a range and bearing to your location. Again, you can share these coordinates of this user symbol via a command, chat, or message. And of course, you can see their profile data. Markers are manually entered symbols that can have content attached to them. They are static and they do not move on their own. They won't have a speed and heading. Again, you can share the coordinates of a marker with other users in your groups. We'll go over adding these and attaching content to them in more detail. Tracks are symbols received from other interfacing systems and sensors. Here we have commercial air tracks coming into the system. I can hook an air track and I get the type of aircraft, the latitude and longitude. I see it's a civil aircraft. I get heading, speed, and altitude, and a range and bearing from my user symbol. Down here I get other info, and when available I get a picture of a representative aircraft. Here I can hook a C track. I see that it's a cargo vessel, and again I get the lat and long, heading, speed, altitude, range and bearing from my user symbol. Then I get additional information like the vessel, destination, length, withdraw, and again a picture of a representative vessel. Now let's go through the navigation and look at the features one by one. First, I can truncate the navigation panel to see only symbols. This gear icon opens the Edit Menu panel where you can select which menu options you want to display. I can expand each section and see what menu items I have under each. Here I'm going to open the Home tab and I see the same items up top. I'm going to unselect the emergency contact. When I hit Accept, it disappears from the top menu. So I can go back into my Edit menu, select emergency contact again, hit Accept, and now it displays in the main menu. The Home tab contains several frequently used functions. PTT and chat operations are covered in the Collaborate, Communicate sections video, so we're going to jump to the symbol list. Clicking on the Symbol List menu button opens a window to show you all the active user symbols in a tree format. Clicking the minus and plus signs next to each user symbol will expand and contract to show you any marker symbols added by that user. Click the Refresh button at the bottom of the window to view the most updated list of symbols. Click the Emergency button to declare an emergency on yourself. You'll immediately see a red triangle around your user symbol. All other users in your group will also see your symbol in emergency mode. To take yourself out of emergency, click on your symbol to hook it, and then click on the emergency button again. The Users button shows you all the active users in your group who are currently connected. You can use this column headers to sort the list by username, the time their device last had contact with the server, their GPS status, their device's battery strength, and their device's signal type. The emergency contact enables you to place a content-specific emergency at a specific point on the map. Move your cursor to the designated place on the map and click to place the blue crosshairs. Click the Emergency Contact menu button. You'll see a content window with options for sniper, IED, contact, and ambush. Select the one you want, and it places a hostile symbol on that location with a red triangle around it. To clear the emergency contact, click on the symbol to hook it, and then click on the Emergency Contact button again. You'll get a window asking you if you want to clear the emergency. Click Yes to cancel the emergency. The hostile symbol will remain. To clear that from the map, make sure the symbol is still hooked and click the Symbol tab above, and then click Delete Symbol. The Windows tab offers readouts on a few of LifeRing's core functionalities. The System button displays a window with detailed location readouts. Here we see the latitude and longitude of my cursor position on the map, the elevation at that location, the range and bearing from my cursor position on the map to my user symbol, which is the green delta, the number of active users, the number of tracks, the number of markers, and the map tiles processed at my cursor position for that zoom level. The Map Inset button displays your current viewable map area in relation to the area that displays any other symbols in your groups that fall outside your screen's viewing area. The GPS button displays a graphic illustration to rate the number and signal strength of the satellites. Green means excellent, yellow means fair, red means poor. When a user's GPS is down, the name above their symbol will flash. The event log displays all symbols added during an active session. This shows you the symbol icon, the user that added it, the time it was added, the type of symbol, and the GUID for the symbol. You can sort the columns by clicking on the user, title, event, or details at the top. You can also search by any of this data in these 4 columns. You can refresh the list by clicking the eraser icon at the top right of the window. To add a marker symbol to the map, click on a location where you want it to display. This will place a blue crosshairs on the map. Now click the marker button in the symbol menu. Choose the symbol you want. We have a full menu of Milstand 2525 symbology, and you can expand each category and drill down till you get the desired symbol. Now choose the group or groups from which you want it to be displayed. Here you can manually modify the coordinates if needed. You can choose up to 3 range rings to display around the symbol. If adding more than one, just separate them with a comma. You can choose a time to live for how long you want it to remain on the map, and you can choose a time to start if you want it to display at a later date. Click OK. The marker symbol will now be on the map. This pop-up is our hook readout, which gives us all the information about this symbol. So we see, pull it over here, we see who created it, what type it is, the lat long, when it was updated, how long it's valid for, the range and bearing to my user symbol, and its unique ID. Now we can start adding content to it. So I hook it again. I can give it a name. Just type in the name. That will display above the symbol. I can give it a size. Most sizes are generic 1 through 12, but if this has a unit designation, it also has echelon to it. So I can choose an echelon type. I can give it a unit designation, and this will show up and propagate the order of battle. So I'm going to name this 3rd Platoon with a backslash, 3rd Company, and 3rd Brigade. Now if I go to my organization window, I'll see this marker and I can expand to show where I fall in the chain of command. Now back to adding content to the marker. I can add text. I can add a photo. I can add a video file. I can add an audio file. I can add most major Microsoft file types. I can move the marker. I can give it a status. I can add info to it if it's a unit. And all of that content and attachments gets added to the hook readout for anybody that's in my group to hook the marker and see what I've added to it. Now I can share these coordinates with somebody else if I want to show them where it is. So once it's hooked, I have these icons up here, so I can share it via a command. And if I hit OK, this sends it out, the lat long. I can share the coordinates via chat. Again, when I open my chat window, it automatically is populated with the lat long. And I can share it via message. So when I send, again, it sends the lat long in the message, and when another user clicks on that, the lat long in there, it automatically takes them to that marker hooked with the data. And if I want to, I can delete the marker. To add a pointer to the map, click on the map at the desired location until you see the blue crosshairs appear. Click the Create button. You'll see a red arrow display at that location. To move the pointer, place the crosshair at a new location and click the Create button again. You can only have one pointer on your map at a time. To delete the pointer, just click the Remove button. Reports are content-specific symbols added to the map that provide a concise narrative of essential information covering events or conditions. A spot report is an observation report. Click a spot on the map and then click the Spot Report button. Enter the information into the form window. When it's all done, click OK. Now you'll see the spot icon display on the map. The UXO report is an unexploded ordnance report. Click a spot on the map that pertains to that report and click the UXO button. Go through and enter the information. There are several pull-downs with pre-formatted information. Once you're all done, click OK. The UXO report symbol will now be displayed on the map. The medevac report is an emergency medical report. Again, click a spot on the map and click the medevac button. Go through and enter the information in the form window. When you're done, click OK. This will place the medevac icon on the map. To read any of the reports, just click on the icon to display both the hook readout as well as the DB readout with the form data that was entered. To delete a report, just hook the symbol and go up to the symbol section and click the delete button. The Find section offers another way to locate symbols that are usually associated with data links. Each of these buttons opens an input window to enter the appropriate information. TN is a track number, MMSI is a Maritime Mobile Service Identity, IMO is a ship identification, Mode 2 is a 4-digit code for ground fighters, Mode 3 is a 4-digit code for aircraft. If there are any symbols in the system associated with the code entered, they will be hooked on your map and centered on their location. When a symbol moves on the map, it will create a color trail of where it has been. Click the Trail button to toggle on and off the movement trails of all symbols. Trail X allows you to display movements of user symbols. Hook the user symbol and click the Trail X button to display the Track History filter window. This function will allow you to choose how many history location points or breadcrumbs you want to see, or you can select it by time frame, as in how many minutes of activity you want to view. When you click the refresh button, all user symbols are lost and the symbols will begin to blink. As the users begin to update, the user symbols return to normal. Now you have the most up-to-date location on all symbols. The Map section lets you display different map types and map details. Vector outlines are overlay details that display coastlines, riverlines, or borderlines over any map you're currently using. They are simply toggled on and off. If the button is blue, the outline is visible. Raster and vector map types are determined by the LifeRing server administrator and configured on the LifeRing image server. To switch maps, simply click on the one you want to display. The control section has some enhanced map functions. The elevation LOS, or line of sight. This allows you to draw a line between any 2 points on the map and then see the elevation changes along that line. Just click one point, draw a line, and click another point. After a few seconds, you'll get a window showing you the axis of distance and the elevation changes over that distance on the exact line. You can move your mouse along the graph and see what elevation corresponds with which points on the map. The elevation profile will show you elevation obstructions that might inhibit radar transmissions based on what data you enter. Click a point on the map and click the elevation profile button. In the pop-up window, enter a range, sensor height, and coverage altitude and click accept. After a few seconds, you'll get a radius drawing on the map. The part of the radius that shows you the smooth circle means there's no obstructions within that set range. All of the jagged points represent an obstruction that is blocking the radar sensor admission at that point on the map based on the data you entered. Spiral Request allows you to pre-cache map tiles to your local device so they'll be available if you lose internet or connectivity to the LifeRing server. Pan or zoom to your desired area of the map. Click the Spiral Request button. Enter a zoom level that is no more than 2 or 3 greater than the current zoom level and click OK. You will get a window showing you the download progress. Once complete, you will now have maps for that area and that zoom level even with no internet. Once set up by the LifeRing server administrator, the Map Available feature enables the LifeRing user to request specific map data to be pushed by the LifeRing network server. Select the Map Avail from the menu, select the scroll bar to view the list of available map sources, highlight the map source to obtain that image, then press Select to request the map from the server. This is currently not enabled on our evaluation servers. The Lookup section provides several tools for pinpointing addresses. Click the Yellow Pages button. Type in a business name or type, like food, gas, etc., into the search field and click OK. The map will display your search results. Click the Point button. Type in a latitude and longitude to pinpoint that exact point on the map. To do a reverse address lookup, click a point on the map and select the Reverse Address button to get the street address of that location. Note, this works most effectively at a higher zoom level. Click the Address button and type in a street address to pinpoint that exact point on the map. Click a point on the map and select the Route button to show street-by-street directions from your user symbol to that point. This area contains your communication tools. To send a message to a user, select the Message button. Press the plus icon to see all users online in your shared groups. Select a user, or you can choose to send to all. Type the message you would like to send in the text box and click Send. This is what your outgoing message looks like. Here's what an incoming message looks like. To attach a file to a message, select the paperclip icon next to the text box. Windows File Explorer will open to allow you to choose from media files on your hard drive, which will then be sent in the message. And this is what an incoming attachment looks like. To delete a message thread, just click the X to the right of the inbox. Then click the Confirm button. Click the Chat button to begin chatting with all users in your groups. Chats are sent to everybody. Type whatever you want in the box and hit Send. And here's what an incoming chat looks like. Notify allows you to send messages to large groups of users. You can either send to all active users, or you can draw a box or a polygon on the map and send a message to all users that are geographically located inside that area. To send a notification, you enter the title and text for the message. Either choose all active users or draw bounds on the map. The FCM Wake Up tool will send a notification to all handset users as long as they've connected to the server at least once. This will show up in their notification panel. Tapping that notification will relaunch LifeRing. To use PTT, push and hold the Push to Talk button and speak into your microphone. To produce a video stream, click the Stream Video button. You'll get a preview window of your stream, but you're not publishing to other users yet. You need to click the red Publish button. But first you can click the Options button to change your default video and audio inputs. You can also click the Stats button to view your audio and video data levels. When you're ready, click the red button and you'll begin publishing the video stream to other LifeRing users. Anyone publishing a stream will display a light blue diamond around their user icon. To view another stream, hook that icon and click the View Stream button in their hook readout. Click the red circle again to stop publishing your stream. To draw a whiteboard on the map, click the Draw button. You're now in drawing mode. Select a color from the color palette and select the tool type you wish to draw on the map. There's a freeform, a line, a circle, a square, a polyline, and a text option for typing directly on the map. Use the mouse to draw any image by clicking and dragging it slowly around the map screen. You can add multiple elements. Click on the text button. Whatever you type in here will be added to the map. You can draw a straight line. We can add a freeform. The clear option clears all whiteboards from your main map. Let's draw another quick element. This time we're going to save it. Click the Save button. You can name it anything you want. Now you can go back up at any time and hit the Read button and recall that image to the map. The Delete option displays a list of each section you have drawn. Selecting that segment and clicking the Delete button removes it from the map. To draw a tactical graphic, click the Draw button. Select the type you want to draw. They are grouped as offensive, defensive, lines and areas, and task. Choose the graphic and hit Accept. Click a point on the map, move your cursor to where you want it to end, and click again. If the graphic has more than 2 points, then right-click when you're done drawing. This will open the styling panel. You can type in a label. Use the pull-down to select a type and an echelon if applicable. You can choose a stroke color and a stroke width, and choose what group or groups you want the tactical graphic to be available in. Choose a start time for when you want it to appear on the map if different than immediately, and choose an end time, and then click Accept, and then you see your graphic on the map. And you can hook it and get the information that we just entered. Now let's draw an area. So again, I choose the area section, I choose the type of graphic I want, I hit Accept. This time I'm going to draw my lines all the way around, and when I want to close the loop, I right-click on the point I started with. Again, I can give it a label. This time I have a fill color. Again, I can choose the type, echelon, stroke color, stroke width, what group or groups I want it in, and the end time and start time. And there it fills in that whole area for me, and again, I can hook it if I want to and see the data I just entered. To delete a graphic, click the Delete button, and you'll see a list of all your active tactical graphics. Just highlight one and click the Delete button. To clear a tactical graphic, just click the Clear button and it will remove all tactical graphics from your display. You can pair 2 tracks or sights to get an azimuth line with range and bearing between them, and when available, an intercept vector. To pair a track or a sight, click the Intercept Pair button. Use the pull down to choose the pair status. For demo purposes, all these function the same. The only difference is how they're labeled. Hook a from sight or track. I'm going to pair 2 air tracks. Now I'm going to hook a to track. When I hit Accept, it displays an azimuth line between the 2 symbols with the range and bearing to target and an intercept vector. To unpair them, hook the from symbol and then go hook the unpair button. I'll pair 2 other tracks. These are air tracks, but if you had a sight that was a moving vehicle or a track that was in a ship, you could pair those as well. So again, click the Intercept Pair button, use the pull down to check the pair status. Hook a from track, now hook a to track. And again, I get the azimuth line with a range and bearing along with the intercept vector. To delete the pairing, click the List button and then select from any of your active pairs. Then click that title and click the Delete button. The Command tab contains menus for both orders and call for fire. I am just going to cover orders in this video. Click the New button in the Orders section. This opens up the System Alert window. Type in your order, pull down the Select Command Type. This dialog here shows how many active users in your group will receive your order. Click on the List button to see a list of all orders that have been sent. you can see the order, the alert message, the source, the pull down, the time it was sent, the users who received it, what their response was, and what state they're in. MR is message received. To cancel an order, click the cancel button, click on the alert, and hit the cancel alert button. You can engage a site to a hostile marker or track to get an azimuth line with range and bearing between the two symbols. To engage a site, click the engage button. Use the pull down to choose a weapon type and a weapon status. Note, for demo purposes, these all function the same. The only difference is how they're labeled. Now hook a site or a user. First, I'm going to hook my own user symbol. Now hook a hostile marker or track if you have one in the system. Because it's my own symbol, it displays a double red azimuth line between the two symbols with a range and bearing to target. To unengage, hook the from symbol and then the unengage button. Now I will engage another user to a target. Again, click the engage button, choose a weapon type, and choose a weapon status. Then hook a hostile symbol or track. This time it displays a single red azimuth line between the two symbols with a range and bearing. Now if this was a track with movement, it would also display an intercept vector. And again, to unengage, hook the from symbol and click the unengage button. Here's where you set up your server connections with LifeRing. Click the select button to view and change your primary and secondary server. The input button allows you to type in a server IP address and port. From this menu, you can also change to use the UDP client server by choosing from the protocol drop-down box. LifeRing can also be set to use a UDP broadcast. To create a new group, simply type in the group name, all caps, no spaces. Group names can be up to 20 characters long, and you can have up to 30 groups. Check the enable box to be active in that group. Check the PTT box to enable push to talk in this group. You can only have PTT checked for one group. Check the password box to password protect this group. Passwords can be up to 30 characters long. Check the stealth box, and no other users in the selected group will be able to see your location or anything you add to the map. You will still see everyone in the group along with their created symbols, geofences and whiteboards, chats and messages will also be received as normal. If C2 is checked, only the essential information is displayed. This includes symbols on the map and their attachments. If COL, collaboration, is checked, then chat, messages, whiteboard, and tactical graphics are displayed. If CMD, command, is checked, then orders can be received. When you're done, click OK. To join a new group, type in the group name exactly. If it's not an exact match, you'll just be creating a new group. If the group already exists and there's a password required, you'll get an alert down here. Go click the password box and then you'll get a pop-up to enter it. Click OK. Now you're in that group. To delete any group, just go back in and remove the group name and click OK. And you can go back in and see that it's been removed. The display area enables you to configure various settings. Here I can change coordinates from lat-long degrees, lat-long DNS, MGRS or UTM. I can display the MGRS grid if you have MGRS coordinates selected. I can change distance units, change time units from local to Zulu, change the date format, change the time update on how often you report your position to the server, change the distance update to report when you've moved a set distance, change the marker label format, decide whether to request line maps or image maps from the message server. If you're only planning to use one, deselect the other. It will save bandwidth by never transmitting unused maps. Here is where LifeRing looks for files. I want to attach something to a marker or send an attachment in a message. You can set the max display range to filter out symbols that are outside a certain distance. You can change the symbol size. Here you can change from mil-stand symbols to NTDS. Augmented allows for symbols like the planes for ADS-B and the ships for AIS. You can change the label size for symbols and where it displays next to the symbol. You can change the Slippy offset for map tiles. This toggles off the map scale at the bottom of the map, and this toggles off the slider on the right of the map. Click OK to save your changes. The system area has a few more technical settings for you to configure. GPS port is where LifeRing will find your GPS data. Tethering is for use on ships where locations on the map are relative to you and not a fixed GPS coordinate. If photo shred is selected, the server will look at the file size of photos you are sending and the recipient's bandwidth and reduce the file size accordingly. Download override does the same thing for files you are receiving. If try communications is unchecked, it will stop LifeRing from continuously interrupting the screen in attempts to establish a connection. Uncheck send voice alert to silence the delivery of an audible announcement to another user. The profile area is where you can edit the information you entered during registration. Now you have to log in again, and you can change everything except the email which is tied to your account. Make any changes you want, and then click confirm. Now those changes are saved to the server. Click the GPS button for a graphic illustration as to the number and signal strength of the satellite connections. The license button displays the license type, telephone number, license key, and expiration. The system button displays specifications about your software. The About button displays corporate contact information, as well as patent information and the version of LifeRing you are using. The PTT log button opens up a window showing you the connection status. The Layers section allows you to show or hide symbols based on various criteria. Click the Filters button and you'll see 6 options based on Milstand 2525 designations. If the button is shaded blue, it's being displayed. Click on any of the buttons to hide or show the symbols from the map. The Data Links button, you'll see options for any active data link symbols being displayed. Again, click on any of the buttons to hide those symbols from the map. Click the Overlays button to see a list of any or all tactical graphic drawings by owner. Click on any of the buttons to hide those drawings from the map. Click on the Size button and you'll see a list of standard military echelon levels. Click on any of the echelon buttons to hide any symbol set to that level or below. The size and strength of a symbol can be set in the Symbols section. The Order of Battle displays a hierarchy of symbols based on 2 methods. Click the Organization button. This hierarchy is based on whatever was inputted into the unit fields of the size for each symbol. You can see more of this in the symbol video, but I'm going to hook a symbol and go to the symbol section and click the Size button. You can see that First Team, abbreviated as 1TEA, is under First Squad, abbreviated as 1SQU, is under First Platoon, abbreviated as 1PLA. I'm using these abbreviations because the input string has a 69 character limit. Each symbol must now follow this same string format. Now, when we go back to our Order of Battle organization window, we see at the top of the chain of command, First Division, and we click to expand the buttons, we can go all the way down to our squad and team levels. The Command button, this hierarchy is based on symbols that have an associate pair. We can see now that under the First Platoon is First Section, and under that is First Squad. I'm going to go back to my map and add a new pair from First Platoon up to First Company. Now I go back to my command window and refresh, and I see that First Platoon is now under First Company, as is the rest of the chain of command. The Fence section allows you to set up a geofence that alerts you if a user crosses in or out of an established perimeter. Click the Enter button. Now move your cursor down to the map. Click and hold to drag your mouse and draw a purple rectangle. Any user symbol that enters that area will generate an audio alert of fence crossing as well as open an alert window. To clear the alert, hook the flashing user symbol that caused the alert and click the Clear Alert button. An exit fence works the same way. Click the Exit button. Now move your cursor down to the map, click and hold to drag your mouse and draw a green rectangle. Now any user symbol inside that area that crosses outside will generate an audio alert as well as open an alert window. Click the List button to open up the GeoBox list to see any all crossing alerts. Click on the alert name and the perimeter line will be highlighted in white on your map. Click the Delete button to open the GeoBox Delete window. Click the name of the geofence and then click the Delete button to remove it from the map. The Miscellaneous section covers some display options of the map. Click the Night button to change the map background from light to dark. Click it again to switch back from dark to light. Click the North icon to rotate the map in the direction of your travel. You'll need a GPS to make this to work. Click the Clear icon to clear your display of any added markers and symbols you have created. Multi-hook allows you to send messages and orders to multiple users. Click the Message button. This will open the multi-messenger window. Now go back to the map and click a user symbol to select them. You'll see they show up in your recipient window. Click on another user to select them, and simply type in your message and send it as a regular message. Both these users will get that message at the same time. Sending a multi-hook order works the same way. Click the Order button. This will open the multi-hook order window. Go back to the map and click the user symbol to select them. You'll see they show up in your recipient window down here. Click another user symbol to select them. Type in your order and click Send to send the command. Now go into your regular command menu and click List. You'll see that the order was sent, the command type, the time, the two users it was sent to, and what their response was. For more information, visit our website at www.aegisinc.com.